Good morning. Sorry, I thought there was something on my face. I was like, wait, I thought I checked the mirror. How's everyone doing today? I'm reminded I need to respond to an email. Let me set a reminder for about that. And it's related to Twitch. Time, let's go with 2. Sounds good. Alright, I will do that. Oh no, Radio Dread, I'm sorry. The weather's nice. And he says channel point redeems? Nope, you're not that far off though. Oh shoot. I sprayed my palette down so I could scrape it ahead of time. So we're gonna scrape it first. I'll survive out of spite. Sometimes that's what gets you through. I need to braid my hair before I start painting. I sat down and I was like, oh dang, I forgot how good this painting was looking. I was like, oh yeah, we're excited to work on this one. This one's looking good. We got a groove going. Last night I cut out a bunch of paper copies of all of the artwork that's gonna go in the foyer. So I just basically like laid it on the paper, traced it, cut it out. And maybe today, maybe this weekend, I'm going to put all of those paper copies on the wall so I figure out the spacing and then I can hang stuff on the wall. And I'm super excited. Oh no, I dropped the blade. Let's pick that up carefully. Maybe not with my toes. So that was exciting. There is a few things. How does it feel to finally hang art wherever you want? Good. One of the things my dad and Rhonda brought me when they were here is an art piece that Rhonda's always had as long as I've known her. Like after my dad started... Shoot. I need to get more of this. It's downstairs, but I got one. It was on her wall at her house, and I always really loved it. And it's aluminum, and it's probably like this... You can't even see. It's like huge. It's this big aluminum piece that's cast aluminum of Detroit from the, like a, from, I think it was done in the 70s, maybe it was an 80s piece. And the guy had like sculpted out Detroit and all the buildings, and they're all like this tall. Like the tallest building in Detroit is this tall on the thing. And there's like the overpasses for the interstates, and they're like legit shaped to the building. So like you can see the hospital and you can see the Detroit train station. And it's really cool. Oh, thank you, Slick Duke. I'm excited. My hope is to get the table to where I can start gluing pennies, and then as people send them, clean the pennies and then glue them. Anyway, so this piece is huge and it's heavy, and it has half of a French cleat on the back. So the way a French cleat works is you have 2 pieces that are shaped similarly, where they're kind of like this, and then the painting has like this on the back. I take that back. The wall has this, where it hooks up like this, and then the piece has the opposite, so that you hook it like this, and then they kind of sit on each other like that. So it has the French hook on the back, but it does not have the wall half of the French hook. Cleat, sorry, French cleat. And my dad and Rhonda don't know where that is. And there's also a piece of it missing. Like it comes to this point, and then there's like a piece about this big that came off the backing at some point, and they're like, we have it. We just don't know where it is. I think we wrapped it with the French cleat and put it somewhere. So someday we'll find it. So I'm just gonna replace the French cleat and leave that place empty. Maybe paint the backing board black so it blends in a little bit better. Anyway, do I have a picture of this piece? I took a picture. Hurricane Parade. There it is. Just make sure there's no address in the background or something weird. Oh no, I can post this. It needs a good clean, but I cannot get water on it because I know it's probably just gonna rust. All right, that can get in queue, please. So I need to like take a brush and just kind of like scrub at some of that dust. Mouse, where's mouse? All right, there it is. So like up here, I'm pretty sure this one is the hospital that stands up a bit taller. And you can see there's one up here, another piece that goes like vertical. So there's actually two pieces, and the other one I don't know what it is in particular. But it's a really neat piece. I really love it. I've always just thought it was super cool. And Rhonda was like, yeah, I'm probably gonna put it in the shop. And I was like, can I have it? And she's like, yeah. So I don't know where that's going. I don't think it'll look great in the foyer. I think it might go over the fireplace. Maybe not both pieces. Although I've had, in the different houses she's lived in, like she had the big Detroit piece and then the long three that were in the corner of that photo, like below it or next to it. And then she's also had them separate in different places she's lived. So maybe I'll put them both over the fireplace. They are heavy. I can tell you that. You have lots of walls to experiment with. Less than you'd think. Like, the foyer has a lot of wall, but there's so many Billy bookshelves in the rest of the house. And like, this has all of this curtain, right? And my office has like a big blank wall, but it won't be that forever. In fact, it won't be that very much longer because I need to put basically shelving across that whole wall so I could put all of my plants on it with grow lights. So kittens, when kittens arrive, can't eat the plants that will make them sick. Get rid of the shelves, make room for art. Rhonda also found this bike rack. It's like one of the decorative kinds they put in cities for people to lock their bikes to. And it has like the circle on it and then like a bike. And she brought that and just left it in the house. And I was like, oh. And like I knew it existed, but I had forgotten about it. And I showed off, I think on breakfast stream, or maybe it was Friday stream, we showed it off, the painting I bought the other day when Steven's parents were in town. So like I cut that out of paper so we can figure out where that's going to go. When Steven's out, replace all the Billies with bike racks. All right, I got 2 alerts to read and then we're gonna work on this. And this is coming along very nice. Like I said, I sat down and I was kind of surprised. It's like, oh yeah, things are going good. we're gonna work on the mid and foreground today. So basically everything from here down. And then we're gonna probably go through and do a little bit more touch up. Like I wanna bring some gold colors into this area because it has some. I don't know if I love some of this going on yet, but we can change that later. And I think I do wanna go a little bit darker in some spaces. But yeah, this whole lower, oh, there's my good brush. This whole lower area needs to be done yet. And then obviously the mushroom. We have a bit to do with the mushroom yet. All right, we have a 22-month resub from Shizue and 39 from Sherlock. Thank you both. Welcome in this morning. I'm realizing my spray bottle is empty. 1 second. Let me fill that up. Much better. I do not have a Steven here today. He is out doing errands. All right, painting. He escaped. So there's gold like here, but not here. So I'm not gonna bother to put any of that on the palette yet. And we're using sap green, hookers, titanium white, ochre, pyrrole, umber, ultramarine. But we're using this titanium white because we want it to blend. Getting more Costco dogs? Maybe. I had a hot dog on Tuesday. It was very good. It's from the place in Raleigh that has the good hot dogs. What's my current score? I don't know. I haven't been paying attention. I did get a text from Thomas because he went and had one last night from somewhere. He went to a concert. Beat Steven and Thomas? Nope. There is no desire to do that. You have sense. All right, sap. Randomly we see Mal at Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest. No. I am not capable of eating that much food. Have you tried? The last time I entered a food eating contest, I lost badly. I didn't expect to win, but I did not do good at all. Rager says, I went to a pizza buffet once, ate like 2 slices, never went back, too ashamed. Yeah, if I go to a buffet, it's kind of a waste of money. I do not eat enough to make it worthwhile for the cost of a buffet. Shame at the buffet. See, what you have to do is get me after a very long bike ride where I forgot to eat. Because then I inhale everything. I get home and it's just like all the food. You did not eat enough on the ride. You were seeing color. All right, here's our palette. This is what we're painting with. And you can see the white is starting to drip. That's because it's golden open. And it's a bit softer. You become Kirby. I do become Kirby. All right, painting. Now, I started to block down some of my main colors. And I think I'm gonna start by filling in dark colors. And then we'll work our way into lighter ones. And we're gonna do this midsection first. And then we'll do the foreground section because I didn't pull out enough cans. Although I did, because there's a little bit of them. Salad buffet, yes. Rip sweet tomato soup plantation. Ah. I only got to go to one of those twice in my life, and I was so sad. They were so good. I just really like soup and bread. Okay, I like this brush, but this brush is a little too small right now. We need to move to something slightly bigger to start this. Like this brush. Oh yeah, glazing liquid. So I've been spending some time cleaning out my office, and I think I've talked about it before. Over the years, my parents, as you probably know, are divorced, but anytime I would see one of them, they'd be like, here's a box of your stuff that we've had. And it's not always like necessarily my things. It may just be things they think I need or want from them cleaning out stuff. So like my mom frequently just gives me Christmas ornaments. And like there are some I want, yes. But there's some that's like, no, I don't need this. Or like things she's gathered since I lived at home, and like a Christmas village. She really wants to give me her Christmas village that she got after I became an adult. And I'm like, I have no nostalgia for this. I don't need this. Also that, Slick Duke. Hey, here's this 5th grade report card. I think you want this. Yeah, there's a lot of that. Here's this magazine or not magazine. Here's the newspaper headline from the day you were born that they've like wrapped in trash bags and then like duct taped shut. So like I have it, and what I need to do is pull it out and take a picture of it and then get rid of it because it's just gonna disintegrate, and I can pull newspapers from like the library if I wanted. Anyway, so I just have all of these boxes of things because when they gave them to me, I never bothered to go through them at the time. And now I need to start doing that. So that's what I've been working on very, very, very slowly. So I pulled everything out of my closet, and I've been going through box after box and like putting them in piles. And it's been going pretty good. And I finally got to a point where I could put them in the boxes they belong in. So there's like a box of Christmas ornaments, and sorry, I got lost where I was in the painting. Here we go. And there's a box of like mementos I do want to keep. And then there was like a pile of trash and, you know, so on and so forth. So I finally got through all of that and I was able to put all the stuff back in the closet that I'm keeping, organized into totes. Which then left all of the sewing projects I need to complete for different things. Like one of the sewing projects I need to complete is, I bought these sheets a few weeks ago for camping because it get hot in North Carolina and I don't need a sleeping bag if I'm camping in the summer. So I bought these sheets to turn them into essentially a sleeping bag liner. So I had to do that. So I did that. And then I made some little zippered pouches to hold various things, like a first aid kit, like a toiletry one to hold some cooking supplies. And I have 2 more small projects to complete on the sewing machine, and then I can put the sewing machine in the closet as well. Because like I had to sort through all of my sewing stuff because I had a bunch of like scrap fabric. But then my office is done and I can put plants and grow lights in there, so that is done for when we get kittens. And the plants have adapted to the grow lights by then. But my Monstera is getting ready to give me a new leaf, and I don't see any holes on the leaves. Like all the other leaves that I've gotten recently have fenestrations in them, but the new one doesn't, I think. It's not open yet. And so I'm like, what is going on with this? So I'm very curious. It should be open by next week to see why there's no holes or if there are any. And then my tree philodendron, the Thaumatophyllum, is, I don't know. I split it up a few weeks ago so I could divide it and give one to a friend for housewarming. And then what I was left with isn't, the newest leaf isn't giving me a new leaf. An older leaf is giving me what looks like a spike, so I don't know if it's flowering. So I don't know what it's doing, and I'm very curious to see what's going on with that. A Monstera midlife crisis. I mean, sometimes if they don't have enough light or fertilizer or something, like they kind of regress. Normally they get more of the fenestrations the older they get. So I don't know what it's doing. We will have to see. But I was kind of sad. I was like, oh, are there no fenestrations in this piece? I want my mom to grow one for the fruit. I hear they're incredibly good. I just learned that the Thai constellation fruit is also variegated, and mine's a Thai constellation. So someday maybe I will have that to eat. Oh dang it, now I have the hiccups. I did bring water today because I knew Steven was going to not be here during stream. What are you? Oh. I was gonna say, you're not really part of this branch, but you look like you're part of this branch. You should be much shorter. Imaginary branch. A little bit. Okay, now I think we'll work into our lighter browns, and I might cover up some of these greens while I'm doing that. and move this palette so I don't kick it again. So if you missed breakfast stream yesterday, I had a follow-up with my orthopedic doctor about my foot. Because when I first had my first appointment after I hurt my foot, he was like, come back in 3 weeks, and if you're not hurting by then, like, cancel it. And I was like, okay. Anyway, I didn't cancel the appointment because, like, I was getting better, but I was like, I don't think it's right. Like, it still kind of hurts. I was like, maybe I should just go in just to check. Be like, hey, like, it's better, but I don't know. I feel like I should be more better, but it should be more healed by now. So I went in, and they were like, I don't know. They're like, you're doing better, but, like, we can do another x-ray if you want. And I was like, it's like, what do you think? And I saw a PA this time, and she's like, let's just do one. And I was like, okay. Anyway, it was actually broken, yes. And it's like a small hairline fracture, and it's doing better. And she said, you know, everything's in place. She's like, there's not anything we can do. Like, if it was out of place, we'd probably do surgery. And I was like, all right, so what do I do? And she's like, don't run or, like, play tennis. I was like, got it, can do that. And she's like, come back in 4 weeks and we'll just see how it's progressing. And I think that's enough. And I'm like, okay, can I ride my bike? I'm a cyclist. And she's like, I'm fine with that. I was like, cool. So, I sent it to Rhonda and I was like, hey, this is what I was told and this is how it looks. And she's like, that could be a non-displaced fracture or a green stick fracture. Oh, I play Stepmania. I have not played Stepmania in a while. And she's like, that's why it probably didn't show up before. Like, those tend to not show up until they've done a little bit of healing. I was like, okay. Good to know, because I was kind of like, how did they miss it the first time? They took 3 angles. And she's like, yeah, sometimes those don't show up right away. She said, or like the person looking at it first is just not great. Cool. I realized I forgot to add some of the darker color in here, so we're gonna quick do that. I'd started to mix the lighter color and then I went to go put it in here and I was like, wait, we gotta do this first. Anyway, back to this and doing the highlights. All right, this stick, I did not put any of the shadow on it, but that's okay. We're gonna paint its midtone, and then we will be adding those things later. Maybe next, so I can see it. And then it kind of gets lost there. And then it goes into the foreground here, so we can leave that alone. It's fun watching this all come together, because right now we just get these blobs, and then I just do a little bit of dry brushing, and it looks like it's coming into focus, even though the whole background is blurry. All right, we're doing the stick shadow next, so I can see that, and then we'll go back into highlights for brown. Sometimes this feels like slow going. Sloan said he wins the art race. Ah, but what if we were faster? Speed painting. It might be rough. We talked about doing that for this. And then here we are on week what? 1, 2, 3, week 4 of this painting. We talked about like doing this in one go and that didn't happen. Here we are. Week 4 is quick compared to some others. True, true. We do have a habit of doing that, yes. We're gonna leave that part of the stick alone because I need to paint that rock behind it first. All right, now we can do the green. We need to do something with this foot. This foot cannot sit like it is. Where is... what can hold foot? Normally I have a tiny little like footstool in here. But I do not today because it's under my desk. A shoe can hold foot. Let's see, does this work? No. I have a better idea. Pull the razor blades out of this. Dump this. And we'll flip that upside down and put my foot on that. Because what normally happens is the bottom of the easel looks kind of like this. And normally I set my foot here, like this, but upside down. So like, that's not great for foot. Shouldn't be doing that. Setting it on this old yogurt container work, yeah. That feels much better. So now I have my non-injured foot sitting on this, and then my injured foot on one of these upside down. All right, now we're going to do green shading. So I'm taking Hooker's green with a little bit of brown, because that'll be our green shadow color. Actually, I don't like this with the brown because it's making it too yellow and everything is quite blue. So we're just going to use Hookers alone. Okay, now we can make this lighter. And hopefully it starts to look better. I do need to tone down the intensity just a tad, but that's why I have the Pyrrole Red on the palette. It's important to keep your strength. First thing I'm eating today, Nutty Buddy and Mountain Dew. Ah. How about everyone goes and gets a good snack? If you need protein, you should go grab protein. Chocolate sprinkled on it. I'm taking a risk in eating passion fruit. How is that a risk? Is it because you haven't had anything else? Mouth itch sometimes? Ah, like me and kiwi. This, a little bit more red, some white. Made that way too light. Still way too light. See, I think my problem with kiwi is it's a cross allergen to latex. Is banana latex also? I don't know, I don't have problems with banana. It might be. I did have a banana today. I had my normal breakfast, which is Greek yogurt with stuff on it. And today that was a banana and maple syrup. And moving lighter into greens. I don't know if I like this one as much. I think there's way too much. White into it. We're not quite ready for that bright of a color. Just tone it down a second. We're almost done with this mid-ground here. Especially right here, we need a lot more like yellows and lighter greens. And now over here, it gets a little bit more yellow. So once I finish doing a little bit of this cooler green color, we're gonna make it warmer. We should really use sap green for that. There's a little bit of work that needs done there, but it's looking better. So we're going to, I know what I don't like. So we're going to fix that. I don't like the dark green I mixed. It looks wrong. And I think part of it is because it's so glossy compared to everything else. It's instrumental. You're not allowed to skip it. Mr. Deathkills, how did you know what I was thinking? Poor spider. Alright, I think I can live with those things on there right now. At least it's a short song. I do think I need to go a tad bit brighter on some of this though. Right in here. And I forgot any of this. Shoot. And right there. Right there. Much better. All right, we're gonna leave all that back mid-ground midground alone for now, and now we're gonna work on the foreground. And this rock is in focus in the actual piece, but it's not going to be here, because that doesn't make any sense for visually how it looks. So we're going to make it blurry. Also, this purpley color might be the shadow I bring in for more of this. It's really pretty. All right, now we are going to dry brush on top of this. And it is a little wet still, which is fine. It's just going to blend in better. It's way too gray. That's fine, we can do a warm wash on top. This does not look like I want it to. Maybe brighter? It doesn't look like rock as much as it looks like blurry object. And like, I'm trying to make it a blurry rock. I think I know what I need to do. That helps. Let's make that a little bit brighter even. And I think I'm gonna leave it alone, and then we'll see how it looks after everything else is done. Maybe it will be fine. And I'm out of umber, but it's also a great time to get some water. Maybe do a light stretch. Oh, they found the giraffe? Where do you find a giraffe that escaped? It's a giraffe. At the giraffe store. I have my eye on this camping quilt for when it does get cold here. But they're not in stock. Why do you have a sale when everything is out of stock? because I finger brushed my hair to do my braid, there's hair everywhere. I was shedding. Camouflaged itself outside the old Babies R Us. That's where you find a giraffe. I also have a slight desire to do a blue wash over the mushroom. Just so I can see it a bit better as blue. No, that's phthalo. We don't want to use phthalo. Phthalo's so... phthalo. If you paint it blue, it'll look like a Zelda mushroom. It's supposed to be blue in the end. Like, the original is blue. But there's a little detail to it. We have a lot of detail to do. But I do want a little bit of that orange, the burnt sienna to show through. And it does a little bit in places, which is great. We have a 37-month resub from Maya Hello. Welcome in. We're painting mushroom. We have foreground to paint. So like here up background is like done. We're gonna do a little bit of touch up yet. But here down is next. And then it's mushroom. Mushroom will probably be next week. I should leave it alone is what I should do. I don't love rock. Rock needs something. We'll leave rock alone for now. This is rock. Roll? No, we're not done. We still got like at least 30 minutes. I just needed a break and stretch before I start the foreground. Oh, that's what the rock needs? Roll? So it's rock and roll? Exactly. All right, now we're gonna do the same thing we did before. We're gonna do shadows, green, and then tan yellowy colors. That's what we're gonna do. Did I do anything on the bottom? Yes and no. We have pure underpainting and none of this. Okay. That's fine. We can live with that. More umber. And time to paint more shadows. No, stay up there. And we're going to try and do this as we go along to paint the under side of the canvas. And this might backfire on me because it might stick to the plastic, which means I just have to repaint it later, which isn't terrible. It just is not what I want to do. That's okay. We're also going to grab smaller brush. Not this one, this one. Painting wants to go off on an adventure. Painting can do that later. Now we're going to move into lighter brown and soften all of this up. Painting adventure with MalMakes in chat. I do think it would be fun when it gets cooler out and I'm not going to be like sitting in the sun trying to paint, biking somewhere with a setup and painting. I do think that would be fun. I did just buy a rack and I have panniers. I bought it a swap meet for like 20 bucks. Cause like Ortlieb panniers are expensive and I got them for 20 bucks. And they might be a little small for bike packing. Cause I think they're actually front ones and not rear panniers. But that's okay. All right, let's lighten this color up. Oh, that was way too much. Still way too much. More brown. When you say paneer or whatever. P-A-N-N-I-E-R. It's a French word, and like I look at it and I want to say it in French, but that's not how people around me pronounce it. This paint immediately dried on my palette and I'm out of this color already. And that is frustrating because I really liked it. Time to mix it up again. I knew at some point he'd be home, but it still startled me. Returning with the sound of thunder. That's how you know a cryptid is near. Okay, next, another lighter brown. Although we might go into... Let's go into the yellow. Also, I think I've decided that my next wall painting project is going to be the guest room. Try to get some of the paint off this brush on these areas, and then we'll blend it where I need it so I can dry brush better. Okay, so lighter here, and then it comes up this way. What theme color are you thinking for the guest room? A dusty blue-violet color. I want to paint the ceiling darker because it's so tall in there. Like, it feels tall. It's like not taller than any other ceiling in the house. It just feels weird. So I want to visually bring that down. And that's the plan, is to visually bring it down by making the ceiling darker. Hi, welcome home. How was the things you went to go do?
It's good.
Good.
It's good. Car is healthy.
Good, I'm glad the car is healthy.
Car is healthy. Chaz is healthy.
He just posted. Hi, Chaz.
Now, I don't mean to alarm you.
Mm-hmm.
But your mushroom.
Yes.
Your mushroom is looks like it might be orange.
It is orange.
And in the photo, it's blue.
Correct.
So I just wanted to point that out.
Thank you.
Just to help. I don't know if you'd noticed that yet.
I did.
Okay.
Because that's the underpainting.
Yeah.
That's going to be the very last
just,
thing we do.
You know, I'm a
Okay.
bit of an artist myself, and that
Oh, I see.
that really popped out at me immediately. And I've been to art school, so I can tell the difference between like orange and blue, and like I noticed that right away, man. I was like, that is not blue at all. That's actually orange. So anyway, just just a little advice from one artist to another that's a different color.
I appreciate that much. I will take that into consideration.
You're so welcome. And if you need any other input about paint or something, like I know most of the colors, and I've held a brush before. So
Wow.
yeah.
Did you bring me anything?
What does that mean?
Did you go somewhere and like get something and
I
bring it?
had Chaz.
Yeah, did you take Chaz somewhere?
No, I took him home.
You didn't like...
Hey Chaz, now that I have you here, and I know that you've been waiting for 2 hours, and you really want to get home, I'm gonna take you with me on an adventure. No, I did not do that.
Maybe Chaz needed to go through a drive-thru, or...
Do you need a drive-through? Can I bring you something from the downstairs?
No, I had yogurt and coffee already.
You sound real disappointed.
You did talk about how the donut I brought you was the wrong donut, so I thought maybe you'd go to the donut shop.
No, I didn't. I mean, I wouldn't have done that today anyway, because like I had Chaz. But also, you told me you were going to go to the donut shop tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I was
Sunday.
Or, yeah. Which you don't have to do. I had a donut.
I know.
The donuts I eat don't have to be buttercream. That's the first donut I've had in a while, and like I'm good.
Okay.
Now, I mean, if you're going,
I'm going.
Then sure, pick me one up. I'm not gonna turn down a donut. I'm just saying, don't go out of your way for me. I'm set. I have rice.
You have rice.
And bread and water here, so I'm pretty good.
Good, okay. Well, I will just know you are pretty good and not bring anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we see the vision? Radio Dread, I do, thank you. This has some of the yellow. A little bit in here. A little bit in here. A little bit in here. And And I think I'm going to keep working through that yellow. I think that is too bright. We're not ready for that. That feels better. There's some areas that just are really, really yellow and some that are more like a light brown. They're more desaturated. So I'm trying to bring those in. I just got a ton of paint on my arm. Shoot. Let's not do that. All right, more yellow. This is pretty yellow. And then this one is like the most yellow. And then we're just gonna make it up over here because we don't know what's over there. And I realized I didn't paint the bottom on the last few colors. Okay. That's fine. We'll just do the bottom of the canvas later. Whoops. Now we'll go into the light brown again, where it's less yellow. And fill in some of these areas. Renee says it will all get done in time. We're almost done with the background, which just leaves the mushroom. Okay, is this light enough? Yeah. It's a little gray. And I think it's looking a little red, so I'll add a little bit of yellow to it to make it slightly more orange. Yeah, that's the right call. And now we're just going to do the same thing. We're going to fill in all of these areas and then keep lightening them up. We also need to add green in at some point. Actually, let's do that first. Because there's not much green in this area, but it's going to harmonize it with the rest of the piece, so it is very important. Ooh, I dislike that. Why do I dislike that? What do I dislike about this? Blue? Yeah, blue. Back to the brown. Now that the green is set. Okay. I had to put that stick in there. And I think I'm going to switch brushes to where'd that filbert go. Because I was using this larger filbert, we're going to switch to the smaller one. This will give us a little bit more detail. Something isn't feeling right. I haven't figured it out yet. I mean, I will figure it out. We just haven't gotten to figuring it out yet. There's parts of it I think are starting to look right, but there's parts of it that just aren't. Because all of the background I think is looking good. It's this foreground stuff. And maybe I need to just do a few more like circles to make it more of the bokeh, like I've done back here. Maybe that's it. Let's just try building some more of those with the other colors and see how that feels. better, but it needs more. More circles. Oh, I know what brush I want. This one. It's starting to come together now. Now it feels better. I was starting to be like, it just feels sloppy. It's like a mushroom sitting on Dippin' Dots. This looks a little bit like that. We're gonna have to go back in with the bright color because I'm adding more of the medium color. Glazing liquid, that's what I'm out of. I should probably do a few bubbles in green too. Let's do some of these first. I think my circles needed to be softer. And therefore, I don't know how to feel about it. It feels like the painting went in a different direction than I wanted for this foreground. And it's not harmonizing. But maybe it's a step away and think about it and look at it later feeling. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think it's a step away and look at it later problem. treat it more like this. I can bring in some of this gold that needs to be in here. We also need to bring a little bit of the gold into here. It was like 5 colors. I think one of the problems I'm having is there just needs to be more mid-tone because it's very bright and then it gets very dark pretty quickly. It's not subtle. Radio Dread said, isn't it funny that whenever Steven is quizzed on colors, he knows he doesn't look at his chat, which is full of colors? Yeah. See, that's kind of what I do. I look at your names and I'm like, pink, blue, green, orange. Light blue. All right. It is time to step away from this for today. I really like this. I really do. And this could be fine, but I'm thinking no. I'm thinking I need to treat it more like this, and I need to bring more midtones into this. So let me make a note. Ow. I just kicked the desk. More midtones in mid-ground, so contrast isn't so extreme. And number 2, Make slash treat. Foreground. Like midground. The almost bluish green in the background is really nice. Yeah, I'm really liking the background. I'm really liking like right here a lot. And I'm liking right here. I just need to make it a little less high contrast. And over here, I think I need to do some of the same. We need a little bit more midground to define some of this. This is looking nice too. Rock doesn't look as bad now. This rock. And like, I'm okay with this tree trunk in here. I'm okay with that. And we could also consider deepening shadows with probably ultramarine or bone black. That would be a choice I could make, but probably more ultramarine. I think it would be, what's the word I want? More correct in painting technique to not use black, because I haven't been using black. I think there's sometimes this thing in art where it's like, if you don't use black paint, that's right. And if you do, then you shouldn't. Consider the coconut. But sometimes we get like the painting morphing into something and then morphing out of it, which I think is what happened here. We let it morph into that, and I don't think that was the right choice. Here are my notes. See, like I legit wrote them out. So next week I can be like, right, got it. All right, let me clean my hands off because I want to grab the sapling painting. And it's varnished, so the paint on my hands will stick to it and then be stuck to it. And my desire to take off a varnish and redo a varnish right before the painting sells is 0. Because that would be not fun to do, and I would be rushing through it. All right, let's roll first and grab this sapling painting. All right, this painting is up for auction, and I'm getting a glare from the lights because it's varnished. This piece is up for auction right now, and it sells in just a few hours, I think. Like 2. It's really nice. It really catches the light well with the highlights through here. I swear it's lighter in person. If I set it... Now my body's casting a shadow on it. It's lighter in person. The photos on eBay are correct. So look at those. And other things that are coming up tonight on Steven's channel, we are playing Hitman. More Hitman. Saturday is Shelf Control. Let's pull the calendar and double check that. Schedule. Yes, tomorrow Shelf Control. I think I might be there for the end of it. I think so. I'm doing a morning bike ride with an additional side adventure. And then Sunday is going to be more Hades. So tune in both days to Steven's channel for stuff. And then Monday will be more Ghost of Yote. And I swear we're doing plot because I'm pretty sure we finished everything that I could, besides like hunting down a few small things like items and painting spots or whatever. And we can always do more of those at the end of the game. And then, regular stuff going on next week. Thanks everyone for being here. Thanks for tuning into Painting Stream. Mushroom painting's coming along. We don't really have that much left. We're gonna fix the foreground and paint the mushroom. And then do a little work on the midground. So I hope everyone has a good rest of your Friday. I'm gonna go work on my to-do list, which includes watering all of the plants in the house. We can put a hat on the mushroom. It kind of is a hat. It's its own little hat. All right, everyone. I'll see you later tonight for Hitman. Have a good Friday.